"If you can't handle it, I'll replace you," the CEO told the single dad, then he walked. The words echoed across the glass-walled conference room as every employee suddenly became very still. At the far end of the table, a single father stood quietly, holding a folder that contained years of work, sacrifice, and one final chance to prove himself. He looked at the powerful CEO sitting across from him, then slowly closed the folder. What happened next would leave the entire company speechless, because the man everyone thought was about to lose his job had already made a decision that would change the CEO's life forever. Before we begin, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of hope, please like this video, leave a comment, share it with friends and family, and subscribe to the channel Heartwarming Tales for more inspiring stories. The man's name was Kellen Rhodes, a 38-year-old single father who had learned long ago that pride did not put food on the table and excuses did not pay school fees. Every morning before sunrise, Kellen prepared breakfast for his 9-year-old daughter, Mireya, packed her lunch, checked her homework, and made sure she reached school before driving across the city to the headquarters of Vera Systems, one of the fastest-growing technology companies in the region. Kellen was not an executive. He did not have an impressive title or a private office. He worked as an operations coordinator, solving problems that other people often did not even notice. When a shipment went missing, Kellen found it. When a supplier failed to deliver, Kellen negotiated a solution. When an employee was overwhelmed, he quietly stayed late and helped. He had become the kind of person a company depended on without always realizing how much it depended on him. His life had not always been difficult. Years earlier, Kellen had been married and had dreamed of building a comfortable home for his family. But after his marriage ended, he became the sole parent of Mireya. He never spoke bitterly about the past. He simply focused on the little girl who had become his reason to keep moving forward. Mireya had a curious mind and a habit of asking questions that made adults stop and think. She loved drawing buildings, bridges, gardens, and people holding hands. Her favorite drawing was a picture of herself and her father standing beneath a large tree with hundreds of birds flying overhead. Underneath it she had written, "Home is wherever Dad keeps trying." Kellen kept that drawing inside his wallet. At Vera Systems, the new CEO was a woman named Seraphine Vale. She was brilliant, disciplined, and known for transforming struggling businesses into profitable ones. She had taken over the company less than a year earlier, and under her leadership, revenue had risen dramatically. Employees admired her intelligence but feared her temper. Seraphine believed weakness created failure, and failure created vulnerability. She rarely accepted explanations. She wanted results, and she wanted them immediately. Kellen first caught Seraphine's attention when a major client threatened to cancel a contract because of repeated delivery problems. Kellen spent an entire weekend tracing the issue through dozens of orders and discovered that the problem was not with the warehouse, as everyone had assumed. A software update had incorrectly changed delivery codes for hundreds of shipments. Kellen presented the evidence to his manager, worked with the technical department to correct the problem, and personally contacted the affected suppliers. The client stayed. But Kellen never received public recognition. He did not complain. He simply returned to his desk Monday morning and continued working. Then everything changed when Vera Systems prepared to launch its largest project of the year. The company had promised hundreds of customers that their equipment would arrive on a specific date. The project was worth millions, and failure could damage the company's reputation. Seraphine personally supervised the operation. She assigned Kellen to coordinate the final distribution. For 3 weeks, Kellen barely had time to breathe. Yet every evening, no matter how exhausted he was, he called Mireya on his way home. She would tell him about her drawings, her science project, and the strange questions her teacher had asked that day. Kellen always listened. Then, 2 days before the major delivery, disaster struck. A critical shipment appeared to have disappeared from the company's tracking system. Seraphine demanded answers. Kellen investigated throughout the morning. He discovered that the shipment had not vanished at all. It had been redirected to an older warehouse because someone had entered an outdated location code. Kellen immediately contacted the warehouse and arranged for the shipment to be transferred. But moving the equipment required additional transportation, and the schedule would become extremely tight. By early afternoon, Kellen had created a solution. He went into Seraphine's office carrying his folder. She barely looked up. Kellen explained what had happened, showed her the revised schedule, and told her the project could still be completed if they approved an emergency transportation arrangement. Seraphine looked through the documents. Then she looked at him. "You are responsible for the final coordination," she said. Kellen nodded. "And this happened under your watch?" "Yes," he answered honestly. Seraphine closed the folder. I don't pay people to explain problems. I pay them to prevent them. Kellen remained calm. I understand. I don't think you do. The room became colder. Kellen explained that the incorrect location code had been entered before the shipment reached his department. He was not trying to avoid responsibility, but he wanted the company to understand the actual cause so it would not happen again. Seraphine stood. Her voice became sharper. If you can't handle it, I'll replace you. Silence filled the room. Kellen looked at her for several seconds. He could have argued. He could have reminded her of all the weekends he had sacrificed, all the problems he had solved, and all the times he had protected the company from mistakes that were not his own. Instead, he simply picked up his folder. All right, he said quietly. Seraphine expected him to beg. He did not. Kellen walked out. By the time he reached the hallway, everyone had heard what happened. Some employees stared at him with sympathy. Others whispered that his career was finished. But Kellen kept walking. He returned to his desk, packed his belongings into a small cardboard box, and placed Mireya's drawing carefully on top. Then he left the building. Outside, the afternoon sunlight touched the pavement as Kellen stood on the sidewalk. For the first time in years, he had no idea what tomorrow would look like. Yet strangely, he felt lighter. He drove to Mireya's school and waited for her outside. When she climbed into the car, she immediately noticed the box. Dad, why did you bring that home? Kellen smiled. I think I'm starting something new. Mireya studied his face. Did something bad happen? Kellen considered telling her everything. Instead, he said, something difficult happened. But difficult doesn't always mean bad. Mireya smiled. That sounds like something you would say. Kellen laughed softly. That evening, he made pancakes for dinner. They sat together at their small kitchen table while Mireya told him about a class assignment. Kellen listened, but his mind kept returning to one question. What could he do next? The answer came unexpectedly the following morning. Kellen received a phone call from a former supplier he had helped years earlier. The man had recently started a small logistics company and was struggling to organize his operations. I heard you left Vera, the man said. Would you consider helping me? Kellen hesitated. He had never imagined running anything himself. But then he remembered Mireya's drawing. Home is wherever Dad keeps trying. I'll come by, he said. What began as one small consulting job became 3. Then 5. Kellen discovered that the skills he had developed quietly inside Vera Systems were worth far more than he had realized. He understood logistics. He understood people. Most importantly, he understood how to solve problems without humiliating the people who had made them. Within several months, Kellen and his friend established a small operations company called Northbridge Solutions. They hired people who had been overlooked by larger companies. A retired warehouse supervisor. A young mother returning to work. A nervous graduate who had been rejected by several firms. Kellen gave them something he had rarely received himself. A second chance. Meanwhile, Vera Systems began experiencing problems. The project Kellen had warned about was completed, but the emergency transportation costs were much higher than expected. Several departments began blaming one another. Employees became afraid to report mistakes because they feared Seraphine's reaction. Slowly, small problems became large ones. Then one morning, Seraphine received an unexpected report. Customer satisfaction was falling. Employees were resigning. Several experienced workers had left. The company was losing the quiet people who knew how everything worked. Seraphine sat alone in her office that afternoon, staring at a report she did not understand. She finally asked her assistant a question. When did this start? The assistant hesitated. About the time Kellen left. Seraphine looked up. She remembered the conference room. She remembered Kellen standing there without anger. She remembered him saying, all right. For the first time, she wondered whether she had mistaken quiet strength for weakness. A week later, Seraphine attended a community business event. She expected speeches and formal presentations. Instead, she saw Kellen standing beside a small booth with several employees around him. He was smiling. People were listening to him. A young woman approached with a problem involving her small business. Kellen patiently explained a solution. Then an elderly man asked for advice. Kellen helped him too. Seraphine watched from across the room. Kellen eventually noticed her. He walked over. Neither spoke for a moment. I heard you started your own company, Seraphine finally said. I did. You're doing well. We're trying. Seraphine looked down. I was wrong. Kellen said nothing. I thought demanding more from people made them stronger, she continued. I thought if I showed no weakness, nobody could take advantage of me. Kellen listened. Seraphine took a slow breath. But I pushed away people who were giving me everything they had. Kellen could have reminded her of what she had said. He could have made her feel the humiliation he had felt. Instead, he asked, do you want to fix it? Seraphine looked surprised. I don't know if I can. Then start by admitting that you need help. She smiled sadly. That sounds simple. It isn't. Over the next few months, Seraphine began changing the culture at Vera Systems. She met employees personally. She listened before judging. She created a system where mistakes could be reported without fear, as long as people were honest and willing to correct them. She also invited Kellen to help redesign the company's operations. He agreed, but not as an employee. He became a consultant. The relationship between Kellen and Seraphine changed slowly. They learned to respect one another. Seraphine discovered that strength did not always sound loud. Sometimes it looked like a tired father making breakfast before work. Sometimes it looked like a man walking away from disrespect without losing his dignity. Sometimes it looked like giving someone another chance when you had every reason to refuse. One afternoon, Seraphine visited Kellen's office. Mireya was there, finishing a school project. She looked up and smiled. You're the CEO who told Dad he couldn't handle it. Seraphine froze. Kellen closed his eyes. Mireya. What? The little girl asked innocently. You told me honesty was important. Seraphine laughed for the first time in front of Kellen. I did say that. Mireya held up her drawing. I made this for you. It showed a large bridge connecting two buildings. At the center were two people shaking hands. Seraphine stared at it. What does it mean? Mireya smiled. It means people can build bridges after they make mistakes. Seraphine's eyes became moist. She thanked the girl and carefully accepted the drawing. That evening, Kellen walked home with Mireya beneath a golden afternoon sky. Dad? Yes? Are you happy now? Kellen looked at his daughter. He thought about the conference room. The threat. The cardboard box. The fear of starting over. Then he thought about Northbridge Solutions, the people they had helped, and the new respect between himself and Seraphine. Yes, he said. I think I am. Mireya slipped her hand into his. Good. Kellen smiled. Sometimes losing something was not the end of the story. Sometimes it was the moment a person finally discovered what they were capable of becoming. Special request: if this story touched your heart, comment below with, "Kindness builds bridges." If this story inspired you or reminded you of the power of kindness, please like, share, and subscribe to Heartwarming Tales so more people can discover stories that bring hope and encouragement. Kellen never forgot the day he was told he could be replaced. At the time, those words felt like rejection, but later he understood that they had opened a door he had been too afraid to find himself. He learned that walking away does not always mean giving up. Sometimes it means refusing to surrender your dignity. Seraphine learned that leadership is not about making people afraid of failure, it is about making them brave enough to face failure honestly. And Mireya learned something even more beautiful, that when people choose compassion instead of pride, broken relationships can become bridges to something better. Life will sometimes close a door without warning, and you may not understand why. But keep walking with courage, keep treating people with kindness, and keep believing in your ability to begin again. Because the moment you think your story is ending may actually be the moment your best chapter is beginning.